Hey everyone, thanks for joining us here at HK3 News. I am your host for today's episode, Kyle Thomas. And for those of you who have never seen an HK3 News episode yet, I'm going to tell you a little bit about what we do here. So HK3 News is all about the next evolution of humankind 3.0. Our goal is to educate you on things like education, technology, blockchain, startups, and culture. But we're not talking about all the things that everybody else is talking about. We're talking about everything that we should be talking about to take the next jump in human evolution. So we're really excited today to be talking to somebody that I really enjoy talking to, Tisha Marie Pelletier. So Tisha, how are you doing? Thanks for being on the show today. We're excited to talk to you.
Yeah, thanks, Kyle. I am excited about being here. Fire away, whatever you've got.
So we have a few questions that we normally ask people, and then we try to kind of tune things in for actually talking to you specifically. Now, you have an interesting story about why it is that you started working with the crazy ones. Now, for those of you who don't know what I mean by the crazy ones, go Google Steve Jobs crazy ones, because you'll like that. But you have voluntarily decided to work with startups, which is a little crazy. So why?
Yeah.
Why?
I'm guilty. I love working with crazies. No, let's not call them that. Startups. Okay, so I've gone through tons of journeys. I've had different businesses and so forth. And really in 2017, I was on LinkedIn and I saw this message from Zach from Coplex. And he talked about, why is it that more people don't mentor people wanting to start? And it was just, I was following this thread and all of these business coaches and consultants and said, no, I don't want to work with the crazies. I don't want to work with startups. I've done my time. They can't afford me. They're going to quit anyway, like all of these things. And I chimed in and I said, you know what? I actually really like working with them. Do you remember when you were a startup and all you needed was someone to be in your corner, listen to you, guide you? And it wasn't about the money. It was about paying it forward. It was about seeing other people's success become your success because you had a hand in getting them there. And that's really what did it for me. I was like, okay, I'm going to start working with startups. I love it.
That is amazing. We love working and talking with people who love working with the crazy ones. Now, the reason being is, we don't see major jumps in evolution, in history, in mankind without the crazy ones. Mm-hmm. So, first of all, before we get moving on the rest of the interview, thank you so much for being willing to work with the crazy ones.
Of course. My pleasure.
We need more people like that. We need people to tell their story and explain why it is that they're willing to work with those unique individuals that help push us forward. So we really love that. As far as what you're doing today to help us kind of move forward and why and what's unique about what you're doing and what you're offering, let's talk a little bit about that. So you have something interesting called the Startup Entrepreneur Academy.
Yes.
Did I say that right?
You did.
Awesome.
You did.
So what is that?
Entrepreneur. Yeah. So it's a 13-week course online, and it's not just me instructing. I've pulled in the best of the best, people who are entrepreneurs, experts in their own industry. And I really said, if you're going to start a business, it's not going to be easy, but I do feel that having the right foundation in place and having the right mentorship and people you can trust to help you get to that next level is so key, because people will try and do it themselves all day long. They'll make mistakes. And I'm like, if there's anything that I can teach you, it's what not to do and what to do right. So this is a course that is not just take it at your own pace, but it's really key with mentoring too. So I'm mentoring them. We've got consultations coming in from attorneys and instructors and branding experts and marketing strategists. So you're never alone on the journey. And I think honestly, that's the reason why people give up, is they're like, I'm on isolation island. Nobody is helping me and I'm trying to spin my wheels and I'm getting nowhere. So it's like, well, why don't we give you a hand up and you start building your business the right way?
Well, that's the thing, Tisha, that we constantly see people trying to recreate the wheel. Don't do it. There is something unique and wonderful and valuable about your idea. But I'm going to tell you right now, and Tisha will tell you as well, there's a whole lot of the stuff that you're going to have to do that has nothing to do with your idea, that needs to be done the same way as everyone else is doing it, because it's been tested and tried and figured out how to do that in the most efficient way.
You know, one of the challenges too, Kyle, I'm running into is I'm talking to these startups, and I mean, you and I know this, we've started businesses, but even just getting an EIN number, to get it on paper is freaky. They're like, I can't. I'm like, to move forward, you have to have this. You have to do this.
And it's interesting because we actually, it's funny that you say that, because we start to finish did an LLC, EIN, and filed for a D&B number, a Dun and Bradstreet number, which is something you should do right. You're not going to need it right away, but you should file it right away.
Sure.
We did that literally, I think it took us like 2 hours to do that from start to finish. It's not scary, guys. It's not scary. The scary part is taking your idea and doing the hard work to get it out into the world. And you can work with somebody as amazing as Tisha to help you get there.
Thanks for that testimonial. I'll take it.
There we go. So we also do something here locally in Phoenix. So we talk to people from all over the world here at HK3 News. But luckily, we do talk to some people who are local. And we have something cool that's going on that you actually run. And if we want to keep in touch with you, so if you're watching this, and whether you're local or whether you're around the world, I'm going to pause and give a quick shout out to HK3 News. If you're liking this interview and you're enjoying the content, we don't like to plug you right at the beginning, but if you like this interview and you want to see more interviews like this, down at the bottom, like, comment, subscribe, hit the little bell icon so that you can get notified when the next time something drops from HK3 News. And if you're here local in Phoenix, you're going to want to know about what Tisha's going to tell you about next. So, Social Connect. What is this?
So I have to share real quick too, Kyle. I did this in one of my Convo and my Camry videos, that Social Connect actually started out as just happy hour. And then it morphed into becoming this happy hour for business professionals and adding a success over struggle. And it morphed again. So this is that whole startup journey, right? This is I'm going to take a step back, reevaluate, go back in, try and do it different ways, but it's still the same concept. So Social Connect is a business happy hour that is the most authentic thing that I could create. I did not want business cards there. I didn't want people doing 30-second commercials. I did not want people picking up on other people. I really wanted to encourage people to meet people again in the most authentic way. Not this, hey, Kyle, what do you do? Oh, you can't help me? Okay, I'm out. I didn't want people to come in and be alienated when they go to an event. Instead, I wanted to create an environment where people started to connect again. And what I found was, even after the first one hosting, people were saying it was such a refreshing change of pace, especially being an introvert, for instance, going into an event and not knowing how to even strike up a conversation. So this is a happy hour where people can meet real like-minded people, not be sold to, not be recruited, not, have business cards thrown at their face, none of that. I don't allow it. But then I also incorporated the success over struggle panel, because one of the things, being an entrepreneur, I love to hear from entrepreneurs like you, Kyle, like so many of our peers that are building businesses, but I love to hear their real, authentic stories. Not what's their success now, but what did it take to get where they are? Because that is something that can really inspire the whole room and create better connections.
So, Tisha, at Social Connect, one of the interesting things that I'm excited about is just that. It's just that aspect of the real story behind the story. Everybody thinks that all these businesses are overnight successes because they only see it when they see it. But entrepreneurs, we're just like everybody else. We don't want to show, all the difficulty and all the heartache and all the struggles and failures, and that's scary. It's scary to share that, but everybody's going through it, and we should be sharing that. We should be sharing that because not only can we get support, but we can also help other people who are right there know, all right, someday, soon, I should see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I've shared that story. It's just what you were saying. I posted on LinkedIn, for instance, I'm like, Dave & Buster's is now my sponsor! Like I'm pointing to signs. And then I did this convo in my Camry, and I'm, those are my raw, real, off the cuff kind of stories. And I'm like, you saw that, but you didn't see all the little steps and all the doors that were slammed in my face when I asked to have a venue sponsor this. I was like, you didn't see all the hard work that I had to put in, but you saw the end result. So if I can then be honest and share that it took this, it took trying, it took getting back up, trying
rejection.
Again. Yes, rejection. Like that's what this is. So now I want you to know that.
Well, you did something else too. You were a little bit brave there, because you did something that a lot of people know they need to do, but they just haven't taken the leap yet. You put some of that reality down on paper, right?
On paper? On video?
No, like you wrote a book about it. So,
yes,
like
this book right here.
There you go. Like, so you are a published author, and we'll put a link below for your book so people can get your book. And that experience and that book, what's the quick down and dirty on that book?
So the down and dirty is I actually wrote, this is my second book that I wrote. I wrote another one back in 2010. And it really started from my journey, 2004, of leaving my ad agency job, my comfy ad agency job, because I feel like I wasn't being challenged. And having this, do I go and do my own thing? Do I work for another company? I'm going to try the entrepreneurial thing and just go with it. Having kids in the mix, having the recession in the mix, like everything. And what I've learned, Kyle, is every situation, good or bad or evil, because there's pure evil out there, it taught me something. I came out stronger on the other end. I learned a really great lesson. And so the book really channeled all of that. It was definitely very therapeutic to be able to write everything down in life and in business and say, this is what I learned. This is what I want to teach you based on what I just went through. So you never have to make that mistake again. But this is my authenticity coming through, my vulnerability. And one of the hardest things, so this book is not just in paper form, but I recorded it for Audible too, and I'm actually narrating it. And that was by far the hardest project I've ever done in my whole life, because I'm confined. I have a microphone. I have to be my most vulnerable, and I have to physically read my story to you. And I'll be honest, you can hear me choking up, you can hear me crying, you can hear my voice is going out, but it's real. Yeah. And the people who have listened to it, who have never even met me, have said, it's unfair that I get to know so much about this person, but I think she did that for a reason, to let us all in and know that life's not perfect. Nothing's perfect. So overrated. You just do the best you can with what you have.
And that is so needed. It's so needed, because there are so many amazing people and amazing ideas out there that don't quite make it because they quit when it's hard, and they don't know that that's where all of us have been at one point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
I had a big reality check actually not too long ago, and that's like, okay, I'm in this 100%.
So moving forward, we are going to get the pleasure of talking to you at an event coming up soon. We here in Phoenix, and the funny thing is that you may, wherever you're watching this, you may be able to find a startup week close to you. Now, we've mentioned this before, but Startup Week here in Phoenix is coming up soon, and you're hosting a panel, right?
I am. So this Social Connect is, it leads right into Startup Week. So February 26th, I'm hosting this, and have Mike Jones actually on my panel, who's directing it, co-directing it with Katie. And then March 4th, I'm actually up on opening day talking about building a personal brand and how to use it to cultivate relationships. So when we talk about being the real you, it's coming out.
That's fantastic. I'm excited. I'm going to be there. If you're here in the Phoenix area, you should be there too. So come check it out for sure. So to wrap up, and to kind of wrap everything up, and we're going to post links and how people can get a hold of you. What's the best platform to get a hold of you? So some people like LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. Where do you like to live?
I am a LinkedIn girl for sure. I love the conversation and the connections, and I feel like I'm meeting people all across the world, who are resonating with messages that I'm sharing, and that's like, awesome feeling.
That's fantastic. So if you want to reach out to Tisha, find her on LinkedIn. We'll put her link below. Now, before we sign off, one last thing.
Yes.
Now, we're going to start talking about the one thing. If you had to leave someone with that one thing, that one piece of advice, as you sign off, what would it be?
I would say if you're going to take that leap of faith into entrepreneurship, you've got to have two things: persistence, and you've got to be patient. Hands down.
Well,
it'll work, but you've got to have those two things.
Persistence and patience. Love it. Tisha, thanks so much for joining us here at HK3 News. We loved having the conversation, and I look forward to having you. We'll bring you back again sometime in the future, and we'll have more of a conversation. And if you guys want to see her in person, get to Startup Week. Make sure to click the links below, like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you next time.